Morning Bizzers, so this is our view today. As you can see, it's a bit gloomy here today. Somehow, even when it's gloomy, it still looks so nice to me. Today I want to talk about so little and how for so many boiled water thing that was in effect in Houston. So how it takes so little to make a difference in your business. Okay, so I want to talk about this. Yesterday I talked a lot about the webinar, which is today. It is free. It's at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I would love to have you join me live. All you have to do is go to myscheduledbiz.com/YouTube to sign up. Good morning, Melissa. I can see your comments today. And I was talking about it, and I just kept thinking to myself how $200 is not that much money. And I didn't talk about that yesterday. But in my mind, I thought $200 really is not that much money. But it's funny how something that isn't that much can mean so much. So, right, this is really kind of a small amount of money, right? I mean, depending upon how you look at it. But think about your own business. If you could get $200 extra every month or every week or every day, how much of an impact would that make on your business? I think for most of you, an extra $200 a month even would be great. I hear you celebrating. $200 a week would be great. $200 a day would be excellent. No matter how big your business is, this amount of money could make a big difference. What does that equate to? Well, for me, that's like hours and hours of paying someone. That's like, I mean, that's a huge, huge deal. Depending upon how you value your time, $200, like I have clients who I know they don't make very much when they make their products. So $200 could be like 10 hours of your time, 20 hours of your time that you would get paid for just from that $200. So then think about what would it take for you to make the $200, right? So if you have an average order value of, say, I don't know, 50 bucks, you'd have to get 4 sales. Your average order value is 20 bucks, you have to get 10 sales. But it's funny how when you start to break these things down, you realize, so $200 is not a small amount of money. Please don't misunderstand. I realize that. But at the same time, every single one of these things can have such a huge repercussion. So it was Black Friday, right? And Cyber Monday. So everybody that you know was probably having sales. Whether that was business classes or buying stuff for Christmas, whatever it is. So every single one of those things sounds like an excellent deal, right? So how do you decide which ones to do? And you can't spend $200 20 times. So you have to kind of value that $200 and determine where the best place is for you to spend that money. And I just recently had a client tell me, I teach dual video recording, and in my Masterclass, which you probably don't know what that is, but basically you're using 2 different things to record at the same time. And she said, Elise, I don't have a second device. I can't do that. Okay, so we figure something else out. Well, to get a second device wouldn't necessarily be that much money, but at some point you have to say, well, I don't have the money to do that. That's not an option for me. So then you have to figure out something else, right? So I guess the point is, there isn't that much difference between having a business that isn't what you want and having a business that is what you want. It can be a very small amount. And I'm curious, if you're willing to share, you can tell me what that amount is. If you want to put it in terms of customers or in money or whatever you want to do, I think that it's important to kind of know, like, where is your tipping point and how far away is that really? Because sometimes we think, sorry, a little bug, we think that it just feels impossible. I'm doing everything I can. I'm investing all this time. I have staff that are helping me so I can get even more done. We're doing all of the things, right? And we're spending so much of our life, so much of our energy, so much of ourselves doing it. And it feels like things could be so far away. But I have a feeling that for most of you, if you really just thought about it, you would find that it was actually quite little, a little thing. Do you need 1 more client a month? Do you need 10 sales? What is it that you need to hit that tipping point where your business would be what it is that you've been wanting it to be for however long you've been in business? So this morning I found myself contemplating if I was going to let go of some of my staff. because I spend money on my staff every month. And in my mind, I thought, well, there's other things I could spend that money on that could make a bigger impact. I could spend money on ads, although for MSB, that's never been a good way for me to spend money. I could pay someone else who's more of an expert one time instead of multiple people who are less of experts, multiple times. I could get a different course, become part of a mentorship program, join an accountability group. There's so many options of how to spend that money. We all have those options. And as I was debating that, I was thinking to myself how funny it is that really I'm talking about a couple $100 would let me do all the things. So I guess today what I want to ask you is, number one, where is that tipping point? What is the small thing that if you could accomplish, that if you could see happen, would change what you're thinking about in your business? And number two, is where you're investing your time and money now the right places? Because I spend a lot of money doing a podcast and YouTube videos and all of these things. And are those where I should be spending my time? Maybe the answer is you've been spending your time in the wrong place, and just a little shift in where you're spending your time would make a huge difference. So I guess that's really what I have for you today, is that sometimes a little tiny thing makes all the change, makes all the difference. And I would love to know what your little tiny thing is. I would also love to have you join me on the webinar today. And you might just find that on the webinar you learn the tiny thing that you should be doing. Or you might find that it's not worth it for you. So think about what things you need to do, what things you've been doing. I hope that you know where you're spending your time. If you don't, and your money, if you don't, you need to write that down. Where are you spending your time every day? Where are you spending your money every day? And could a shift in either of those things change your business? I think that's all I have. I didn't really have a super planned thing today, so I hope that this was helpful to somebody. And in spite of the gloomy day, I hope that you all have an excellent day. And I really am excited that we get to live our dreams together every single day. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.